welcome everyone to the Nerd TV, tuning in for the Full Throttle Sim Racing Cup Series. This time it is on dirt, Bristol dirt that is. We were just here on this past Wednesday at the trucks, where we saw Nicholas Casey take home the W. And now it's the Cup guys to see what they have in store for this track as we go 125 laps at Bristol dirt. My name, as always, is Jay Stan, and then to my right-hand side is Mr. Pshivyanet. Man, how you doing over there in that corner?
I'm doing good over here. It's great to be back at Bristol, especially Bristol dirt. It was fun to watch yesterday in real life, and I was having a good time racing it myself this week. Can't wait to watch these Full Throttle Sim Racing guys tear it up.
Yeah, I drove a lot of trucks. I think you did more so than me, but I didn't get a chance to do the next gen. So I don't know what's in store for these guys, for us, and for everyone watching out there on Nerd TV, of how these next gens run on this track in the sim world. I know the Cup race last night was, hit or miss with the rain and everything, but the sim world's a little different. It gets a little slicker out there, and these guys right now are showing it in practice.
Yeah, I ran a couple of them. I didn't actually do a race for the Cup race, but I was doing a lot of practicing on it just to have some fun with it and see what I can do. And yeah, it's a little slick and a little bit more to it than the trucks, the speed difference, but I enjoyed it as well. And that we're kind of watching here on a Nerd TV here, and that's kind of the line that I was trying to follow, stay up in that little higher groove that we also saw last night in real life. But it's fun to whip it around as well in the Cup car, so I'm expecting just as much in the trucks, but maybe a little more.
Yeah, like I said, I don't know how loose these things get in the corners like the trucks do. I know the trucks are pretty bad loose at points, and there's no weight on those ass ends of those trucks. So I would think it when the dirt's fluffy and fresh, I think it's going to be, not so loose, not so side by side. But toward the end of the race, I think we're going to see what we were just seeing there on the screen, where they get really sideways overall, and maybe we see that cushion line come into play. Maybe we see a last lap slider that Chase Briscoe failed to do so. Who knows? They have 125 laps to show us and you guys out there watching what they're worth.
Yeah, and we'll see, this track change over the course of the race too, with that dirt getting packed in and everything, and it'll develop a little groove and kind of ride through that groove as we see Richie Coy. That's going to be kind of where they were yesterday too, so we'll see the same thing, I believe, as well, because in practice, when I was doing it, same way I noticed it, kind of packed in. You're right, they're kind of that same groove we're seeing right now on our TV is where it's going to end up being, I think, towards the end of this race. And of course, Richie, he actually took that points lead, Jeremy. He's the points leader by 1 point over Ryan Hedrick because of that differential of the race last week. So we got Ryan Hedrick sitting third fastest right now, and Richie Coy in fifth. So that'll be a good points battle for tonight to see what those two do.
Yeah, I was kind of looking at the point standings today, because I know we had some craziness in both the trucks and the Cup Series last week. And Martinsville produced some really weird situations and storylines when it comes to the point system. We got 5 races, including tonight, left in the series. Richie Coy is up by 1 point, like you said, over your now second place Ryan Hedrick, who has been in the front of the whole point standings the entire way through up until this point. Casey McMullen brought up to only 15 points back, and then you'll see Sherwood Williford in 25th, and Wayne Grassy rounds out your top 5 in points, 33 back. So those guys still have a chance. We saw, like I said last week, where had some storylines happen, some craziness, some unexpectedness, and it kind of took a stretched out points lead, and now it's brought the top 5 really in contention for this thing.
Yeah, and the one that impresses me there is Sherwood Williford there. He's 4th place in the points, 25 points back, missed 1 race. He's only got 7 starts, 8 starts on the season with everyone else, and he's only 25 back. So he's 1 race shy of being tied with the leaders for this thing, but he's been strong as of late too, Jermaine. We noticed him coming through the points, just because he missed that race, but he's just been producing great finishes, top 3, top 5 finishes in the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, this is very true, and if my eyes are not deceiving me, I'll have you double check. I am not finding Mr. Sherwood on the podium tonight as far as the overall stats and driver entry, so this might take him out if he doesn't get in here. Confirmed he is not here tonight. So
we're 15 seconds away.
Yeah. So this might be another developing story that gonna take him out of contention if he does not get in here before qualifying's end. I know some of these guys would very much appreciate that. Wayne Grassy is gonna move up in points if he doesn't show up. So, we already got some storylines developing within the 5 races left in the season.
Yeah, that's gonna definitely change some things. Casey McMullen's here. We saw Richie Coy and Ryan Hedrick. So yeah, that's gonna and Wayne Grassy, as you mentioned, that'll bring Matty Watkins up to 5th. But those are pretty close too with Wayne Grassy. So it's gonna definitely be some point shaking up here with 4 races to go after the tonight.
Absolutely. And speaking of ending, that is the end of the Martin Sports pre-race show for the Full Throttle Sim Racing Cup Series. So it's our time to get our faces off your guys' screen and to get to thanking a lot of people out there that bring this action to you guys every Monday and Wednesday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Big shout out, first and foremost, to the league that you are watching tonight, Full Throttle Sim Racing. You know, like I keep saying it, they've been doing it for 16 years, iRacing for 5, and with 5 different series and this great action that you see each and every time you tune in to watch them. You just have to go race these guys. They're super awesome and cool to hang out with even after the race. So check out all their series and see what you're interested in by going to FTSR.net. They have the Sim Racing Points, their official sponsor of the Truck Series, and for the official results you'll be seeing later tonight. Sim Racing Points is an all-inclusive league points management system. It allows league owners and admins to completely track your points with just a really simple upload, really. You take your export of the race, you drop it in the software, boom, within a couple minutes, your website, all your customized widgets, everything's all freshly updated for everyone to see. If you're interested in something like that for your league, go to simracingpoints.com and check out all their pricing plans. And also a quick shout out to Sim Racing Points for jumping on board with the Nerditudes as well. Happened this week, so appreciate you guys, on supporting the nerds as well. And then we have Martin Sports, home of the sim gloves and all of sim racing. They make the most breathable and durable gloves in the sim racing world, which has ever seen. Kenny, they also specialize in customized t-shirts, hoodies,
What?
hats,
What?
and they have the fastest turnaround in the business.
Can I get a hell yeah?
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. And you can check all their product line at martinsports906.com. Use promo code SUPERNERD at checkout. Get you a quarter, 25% off. Pretty crazy good discount there. Once again, martinsports906.com. And then we have iRacing iFlag. It's that all indication / flag light system built directly on your desk, and they're all 3D printed, 64 really bright light emitting diode LEDs. They show you everything. If the car's high, if the car's low, if you got a meatball, whatever indication that iRace thing starting at you, this thing has over 30 different indications, all right in front of you, really bright, hard to miss, keeps you focused directly on the racing surface or whatever's in front of you. You can check them out at iRacingIFlag.com, and if you use promo code SUPERNERD at checkout, that's 15% off everything in your shopping cart. And then we have the Butt Kicker, the official audio enhancement partner of Nerditudes. Us here at Nerditudes headquarters, the home of the Gamer 2 unit, which is the standard in sim racing immersion, gives sim racers a haptic transducer, which easily attaches to any center post of your gaming chair or whatever you're sitting in, really. And it gives that sim racer that much needed feel in the car that drivers really need to perform at their peak performance. See their entire product line at thebuttkicker.com and use promo code NerdTV rather for 20% off everything that you purchase from the Butt Kicker. And then the official energy partner of the Nerditudes is none other than Nerd Focus. Use Super Nerd at checkout for 10% off of their drinks, which we have 2 flavors that they offer. The green label is going to be your sugar variant, and the blue is going to be your sugar-free variant. Both are super tasty, keeps you hyper-focused on whatever you're doing. And from day-to-day life or sim race, that's up to you. That product's, it's going to help you. It doesn't hurt you at all. There's no crash. It's just solid, easy product to drink. And once again, that's nerdfocus.com, super nerd, 10% off everything in your shopping cart. And then thank you to our asphalt setup providers of Nerditudes, that being Moonlight Speed Concepts. You're going to find them at moonlightspeed.com. or you can find them on Twitter. They're active there. They have an awesome community within their Discord as well. Professional like setups across the boards at competitive pricing. So if you really want to get that edge and win your next race, head over to moonlightspeed.com and register and sign up for all their setups that they have to offer. And then on the flip side is what you're seeing here on Dirt. The Dirt setup provider of Nerditudes is going to be houseofspeed.us. Again, follow them on Twitter. Come and join their Discord and hang out with the community. Awesome group that produces professional like setups for all dirt needed that you might be driving. So once again, houseofspeed.us. All right, Kenny, it looks like everybody is on the grid. If you want to run down the top 10.
Yeah, it looks like we're going to have 20 making the field tonight, Jeremy. Taking the pole is going to be Tony Solari with a 19.56. Great qualifying wrap there with Chad Wang on his outside in second. Richie Coy is running off third. That's your new points leader. Lane Allen's going to be fourth. Stephen Wu Allen, one of the new guys here, he's going to come off fifth. Ryan Hedrick sitting there in sixth place, looking to hunt Rich Coy down. Chris Beck going to roll off seventh. Brian Bliss in eighth. Ninth is going to be Kenneth Schultz. And 10th will be Josh Johnson.
Starting in 11th, Superman Matty Watkins. To his outside in 12th is Wayne Grassy. 13th place, you'll find Casey McMullen. 14th will be James Wallace. Next row back in 15th is Chuck Sweeting. 16th place will be Steve Loomis. 17th place looks like it's going to be Luke Brown. No, iRacing's got my thing messed up. So 17th is going to be Shane Papala. 18th will be Kevin Rupert. 19th, Brandon Elder. 20th, Brian Dublay. 21st, if he starts, will be Brody Hanna, which I do not see him on track. And then 22nd should be Luke Brown rounding up the field, but I don't think he's on track either. So it looks like a total of 20 cars starting this thing, Ken.
Sounds like Luke Bryan's going to be starting tonight. He must be taking the command and everything. No, but I think Luke Brown's going to jump up into that 21st spot, and the newcomer, Jeremy Stephen Wu Allen, starting fifth, first race out. So that's a good start for him. Not a bad way to come out here and say, "Hey, what's up, guys? I'm going to run fifth on this pole lap or on this qualifying lap."
Yeah, I mean, if Luke Bryan's going to be able to show up at a NASCAR race, it's going to be the dirt, right? To get their dirt on the boots, which they always sing about.
In Tennessee.
In Tennessee. So, what better way to show off your countryside than by coming up to a Bristol dirt race? But, yeah, Stephen Lew Allen, top 5 in his debut here in qualifying. And I'm quite interested to see what this guy has in store for us. He could be a dirt ringer, could just know what he's doing here. We'll find out, but it's always good, regardless, to see new faces.
Yeah, and I love that the paint scheme that he went with. It's that white there. With this truck, I mean, it's going to get dirty tonight, so that's a great way to bring it out too. Is have that white front end that we're going to see turn a little different color there at the end of the race. But good looking scheme overall with that purple as well.
Yeah, that knows that car will definitely be dirty before the 125 laps is over with. As soon as you get this thing green flag, quick expectations, Ken. What are you expecting here on the start?
Richie's the one I'm going to watch. He's been having a good run. Him and Tony are starting 1-3 teammates there. I can see Tony and Chad Lang starting it out, and maybe Richie trying to jump to the high side early because we saw what he could do on the high side there. So I'm going to keep my eyes on Richie and see how quick he can get up there battling for the lead. But Ryan Hedrick's one to watch too.
Yeah, I agree there. Pace truck is down and out. That means we're ready for Tony Solari to get going on this 125-lap venture on Bristol dirt. Green flag is out. The number 4 gets an excellent start, that being Chad Lang. He drives it in super high early. A little bit of a conservative approach there. Entering the corner, doesn't really slide the car. That's going to allow Tony Solari, who did get that thing slideways through 1 and 2, take sole advantage of first place.
Yeah, it looks like Tony Solari is going to lead this first lap, but Chad Lang's trying to make a run here on the high side, get that good momentum swing, and a little close contact there between Lane Allen and Ryan Hedrick, who went down to the inside, made up a couple spots there, so that's going to put him in 5th place now. But still got Chad Lang chasing down Tony Solari as heading into 3 and 4.
These guys are kind of single-filed out pretty quick here as far as the top 5 goes. Going through the field, looks like we got a little bit of 2 or 3 wide action. Actually, some contact there by Superman Matty Watkins and Lane Allen, who had fell back a few more spots after just, seeing the 99 get loose off the top of turn number 4, slide down in front of him. You see
Josh Johnson there in the wall.
The 57, Josh Johnson, also getting into the wall. So these guys are trying different lanes, and it looks like their cars aren't fully buttoned up just yet.
No, and going down too, once you get past that start finish line, it just kind of kicks you a little sideways, and you can help assist that slide into the corner. And sometimes you just catch that wall, and it looks like Josh Johnson did that a little bit, and then just had to collect it a little bit there. We see a battle right here. Wayne Allen starting to get feel for it and comes back around Brian Bliss there. So he's trying to advance back up, see if he can run down Super Matty Watkins there for that 9th place. But yeah, not a good start for Wayne Allen. Not what he was really looking forward to on this start. Started 4th and had a little mishap there off of 4, and it kind of put him back quite a few.
Absolutely. A couple more battles on track here. See Superman Matty Watkins passing, or at least trying to get around that number 44 of Chris Beck here. As you see on your screens, Matty Watkins had to drop back there. He's going to now go side by side temporarily with Lane Allen. Nice little 3-car battle here. Also want to kick it up to your 2nd, 3rd, and 4th place runners as they've gone nose to tail. Even 5th place as he's joining in the picture in the last second. So pretty decent battle here for the top 5.
That's when Ryan Hedrick and Richie Coy, he can see him. He's right there. He was only 1 spot back from, lost a lot of ground there at Martinsville. I think he gained about 15 points or so, but that's going to be one that Ryan wants to get back. So that's going to be a good battle, Jeremy, all night is Ryan and Richie, I think. And Ryan doesn't want to let Richie get too far ahead. As you see, he's wanting to get by the newcomer here, Stephen Lou Allen. It's a great battle here between these 4 cars. They're just kind of keeping it all the same, all even, waiting for one of them to mess up, and the next one's there to pounce.
Yeah, Ryan Hendrick really needs to have a solid performance, even a top 5 really, to escape Bristol, and say he did good at least in one of the short track races out of the trio there with Richmond, Martinsville, and now Bristol. They see him on the inside rather than number 24 this time, trying to get around the newcomer. They're actually going to go 3 wide with Richie Coy, and 3 and 4. Looks like the 24 is going to drop back. Nope. Actually, Ryan Hedrick got super loose there off of 4. He's going to re-fall back into 5th.
Yeah, he caught that, coming down off the turn there and just pulls you down into the inside there, and that's got what Ryan had. But with this battle going on, these 3 are still going at it here for the 2nd position. That's going to bring him up there. As we see 24 and the 19 just side by side right now. Richie Coy still getting on the high side, but he's looking to get by Chad Lang and try to get some with Tony Solari, because as this is all going on, Jeremy, Tony Solari is now lapping Casey McMullen. So that's one of your other points, contenders there in 3rd in points. He put Casey McMullen a lap down, and he's 3.5 seconds ahead of these guys. So Tony Solari is just checking out as they're all battling back for 2nd.
And to put that in perspective, too, these guys are only on lap 10. Lap 10, and Casey McMullen, point runner, going a lap down early, showing that he's not a big fan of dirt, at least not early in the run. We'll see what later on has in store when this track does slicken up and become a whole different beast. But as we see, the 24, Stephen Lou Allen up to 2nd. He found a way around the 19 and the number 4, and now he's got his eyes set on that huge gap in front of him between him and Tony Solari.
Yeah, and they're still battling it back there. As you see, Ryan Hedrick moved his way up into that back into that 5th spot there. So they're still trying to fight it. And Richie Coy went on the bottom there, find a new line, but actually lost a spot there. So he's going to fall back another spot. It's going to bring Ryan Hedrick back up into it, trying to battle for 3rd place with Chad Ling as they're side by side. And Tony Solari is putting down 2 more cars another lap down. So he's just on another level right now.
Yeah, the lap cars are kind of slowing him down a little bit. Stephen was able to catch almost a half a second on Tony that last lap and did another half a second this time. So he's getting a full second in 2 laps. So he's only 3.3 out. He has a solid chance to getting up there. But we still have, we're only 15 laps into 125. That leaves 110 laps remaining. Still plenty of racing to do, obviously. But I really like in Stephen's line. He's not running too high, and that car's kicking sideways, but catches grip when it gets to certain sideways. So whatever he is doing with that setup, I think right now it's looking to be pretty dominant.
Yeah, he's kind of riding really close to that line that we were talking about in practice there. And like you said, he's barely sliding it. When he does, he's getting in just the right spots. And he's kind of, him and Tony are running the same lap times. They're pretty close on what they're running. I have Tony, he ran a 19.42 on the last lap, and then Steven ran a 19.42 as well. So there you go. That shows you how even they're running. So those guys are kind of just keeping it even. But it's funny, 2 different approaches. You have Tony, who's kind of sliding it a little bit more than Steven, but running the exact same time.
It looks like Ryan Hedrick has moved himself up to 3rd place. Actually just bounces off the wall pretty hard in front of 4th, 5th, and 6th. They're all going to catch him up and actually wad him up almost heavy on the binders. Chad Lang was entering 3 outs. He was going to run into the back bumper 47. He clears him, no problem. They're still running. That's going to bring the 4 car back into 5th place, and Richie Coy is not going to be 3rd place.
Yeah, and Matty Watkins, see him and Wayne Hour come in there, and Matty had to check up from that and just missed the back or the front bumper there of Wayne Allen. So avoided a disaster between about 3 different times from 6 different cars. So great driving there as they all keep it going though, and still battling for 4th and 5th and 3rd place as well. So great battles between this top 5, Jeremy.
Absolutely, and someone trying to creak into the top 5 is Matty Watkins as he just clears the number 4 in turn number 3. That's going to move him up into 5th place and drop the number 4 of Chad Lang outside of the top 5.
Yeah, that was a great move. Just slid right in front of him. Perfect timing. Ooh, as we see Josh Johnson there right in front of your leader, Tony Solari. Perfect timing, I guess you could say there on Tony. He slid down right in front of him just as he was getting ready to go by. So that's going to put Josh Johnson a lap down. We already have, looks like, about 7 drivers, if I'm looking at that right, Jeremy. That's already gone a lap down. So Tony's just in a blistering pace right now.
Yeah, he's still floating just under 4 seconds over your 2nd place, Stephen Lou Allen, the newcomer here at Full Throttle Sim Racing. Put on a pretty impressive show as he actually lost to 5/10 there. So it looks like the times here are just all about what line you run, really, because with asphalt, you don't see half-second variations almost every lap. But you catch one lap car in your line, you have to change it, and your car gets really loose or upset on dirt. And it fluctuates huge, so you just want a solid, nice group of laps, exactly where your car wants to be. That's how you're going to make the most of it and stay where you need to be.
Yeah, and it's like you said, it's just crazy the difference that you can do. You hit a great lap, and the guy messes up, and you can gain, sometimes half a second, depending on how bad it is on the mess up there. Because if you slide down, it can sway up quite a bit. So it can fluctuate, a good amount just from that time that you were talking about it. He was about 3.5, almost 0.7 ahead, and now he's almost 5 seconds. So just a matter of a couple of laps, Tony Solari's kind of gained on it. So he's got it figured out, and he's going to keep it going. And we see on Nerd TV, we saw Josh Johnson come on pit road. I'm assuming he's fixing some damage possibly because he did have a little spin there, or almost, and kind of touched the wall. So maybe he's coming down to fix something, Jeremy.
Yeah, I also saw Steve Loomis down there too. Wasn't sure if he pitted. I just saw his car on the bottom of turn 2 exiting. It looked like to be pit road. He puts him 1 lap down as well. Also, quick mention, we have a shout out from GITPLYR TV. Get Plier. Sorry if I butchered that. He says good luck with the pound, knuckle pound, and the checker flag. So appreciate the comments, and those comments are always open on every platform that we stream at, whether it be Facebook, Twitch, or YouTube. And we got a wreck here on the front stretch. Number 4, Chad Lang side slams the 14 Lane Allen. Exit of turn number 4, and it's going to bring your first caution out on lap number 27.
Man, that was a close one there. And Wayne Allen, we mentioned him earlier. He had a little mishap and made his way back up into the top 5 pretty much. And they were just side by side as we see here on Nerd Racing. They're just kind of come together. One comes down, one comes up. And unfortunately for Chad Lane, he got the worst of it as everyone else goes by him. And Wayne Allen keeps on going.
Good thing it was dirt down there. The cars stop a lot easier when it has to chunk through some dirt. Saved him any grace from hitting that inside wall. You see right here on board of the number 4, Chad Lang just comes up and door slammed by the 14. 14 has apologized to him real quick. Recognize it was his fault, and that's what it looks like on our end here. That should bring... We'll get the official word, but Brian Bliss should be the... Yep, there he goes. I think he should be your lucky dog from Martin Sports. So go ahead and get yourself a lap. Hashtag get a grip for Brian Bliss as he's going to drive around and get back on the lead lap. It's going to put 10 cars on the lead lap when these things go back to green flag, Ken.
Yeah, that's, the timing there for Brian Bliss to get back on the lead lap because Tony Solari was, coming up on Chris Beck there to put him down. So... the timing there, that's Tony Solari did not want to see that caution, though. He was, like we said, he was just checking out from everyone else. So that's one that did not want to see a caution. But I won't be surprised if he gets going once this thing goes back under the green. And we're at, a quarter of the way through the race, Jeremy? And I think, we just mentioned Martin Sports there. So why don't you go on and head over to Martin Sports, save you a nice, as you mentioned, a quarter there. Chris, 25% off of multiple things that we talked about before: shirts, hoodies, hats, gloves, everything. Head on over to martinsports906.com and get 25% off.
Excellent product. The best sim gloves of all sim racing. Hands down. You just have to go try them. Buy yourself a pair. Put them on. It makes your lap times faster. Keeps your hands cool, not sweaty. Just awesome product all around.
Super Nerd, which you want to use at checkout.
That's right. That's the only way you're going to get that 25% off is if you go through the Super Nerd promo code. It's 20. That's a huge discount, Ken.
Yeah.
How many companies give you 25%?
We only see like 25% around Black Friday time. You never really see anything that high. So it's definitely a discount that you go check out because it saves you quite a bit. I mean, that's $25 if you're going to spend $100. So that's a good chunk if you ask me.
For great fitting apparel and everything, that can come through real quick. So great product at a great price for sure. Looks like you got about a lap left before these guys go back to green flag. And if these guys go, if they have a nice solid start, we're going to bring out what we call nerd enhanced racing decibels. We'll see if these guys can have a great launch. So I'd love to bring the sights and sounds without our voices overlapping anything to your guys' ears. I think there was a comment made by DW yesterday in the Cup Series, or somebody in the booth that said that these cars on dirt, they just sound and look awesome from their on-track experience. So try to simulate that a little bit for you guys. Pace truck is down, waiting for Tony Solari to go, and now he's got a new contender, Ken, on that high side.
Green.
Stephen Lou Allen, green flag is out. Tony with a good start. Richie with an excellent start behind him, but checked up, noticing that he almost jumped the start, basically. And we're going to see Tony Solari try to keep that lead, and the 24 is right on his bumper there. Going to give him a nice little shot into turn number 3, and looks like a little wobble. That center right now is super strong. And as these guys are duking it out, we're going to bring you to that nerd enhanced racing decibel. So stay tuned. We'll be with you guys in just a couple minutes. And welcome back, guys.
Right,
that was the end of Nerd
out.
Enhanced Racing Decibels. And as we were returning, and just before, rather, we saw some cars going left and right, spinning around, and the caution has finally come out on lap number 35. No, 42. My
42.
apologies. Yeah, flat 42. We saw Matty Watkins look like turn 3 get heavily loose, spinning on the inside of the track, and it was just close enough to the action to bring out the caution flag for the second time this evening.
Yeah, we were watching him there as we were under the Nerd Enhanced there, and you could see him just kind of fighting it, slid right up in front of Wayne Allen, and Wayne Allen just had to run and just do a little love tap, just saying, "Excuse me, coming through. I got to get back up to the top 5," and that puts Matty Watkins. He's on coming down pit road as well too, so he's gonna get some damage fixed while he's under caution, see what he can do. As we talked about last week with these short tracks, damage is not really an issue, but he's still going to come in because he's going to be on the end of that lead lap. And there's only 9 of them, so might as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And my correction of that was on the entrance of turn number 1, not turn number 3. But to your point with him getting that damage repaired, there's only 9 cars on the lead lap. So he's not going to fall too far back. He's already there, so you might as well just take all the time and fix that thing up. We saw Brian Bliss spin out too right before we kicked it back over to our broadcast coverage, and he wasn't a part of the initial caution. So Mr. Brian Bliss is going to get, for back-to-back times, the Martin Sports #GetAGrip Lucky Jog Award winner. It's going to bring him back to 10th place, just essentially the same exact kind of setup that he had on the previous restart. But Kenny's got less damage, or more damage rather. Oh, nice, huge wreck avoidance from the 57, and unfortunately did tag that inside wall, gave him some more damage. But thankfully, he's able to get back onto the track. Did not see that initial contact of why he was down there on the apron. I see it why now, and that was great avoidance to avoid the 57. But then, had to unfortunately come across the wall there, as you see it one more time here.
And just, things that get from bad to worse, Jeremy. Matty Watkins, he has backed out. He came down pit road, and as he was on pit road, he got a passing under yellow while on pit road. So he ended up getting a penalty, went a couple laps down, and I think he decided to call it quits. So that was fun. And he's out of here. So that's your 6th place in points right now, Jeremy. He's gone. That's unfortunate.
Yeah, sometimes with the dirt situation and short tracks, there's a lot of stuff going on, and there's multiple wrecks and this and that, and sometimes you just can't agree to everything all the time, and that's probably what looks like happened this time. As you see the 18 on pit road getting his damage fixed, he did get that award, so he's going to be guaranteed being now in 9th place on the grid since Watkins has backed out of the event. So 9 cars will be taking the green flag as you're on the lead lap, and then everybody else is 1 or more laps down after that. Looks like we got about a lap left to go before these guys will take off on lap number 48 of 125. And
looks like I was just getting some reports there from Brody Hanna. It sounds like that Matty actually entered the wrong pit lane, and that's what ended up kind of messing him up there, passing under yellow, putting him a lap down. So unfortunate on that one to kind of come in the wrong one. It's kind of tricky around this place. So
when you got enough cars, 2 lanes are open. You got to know which one you're entering, and if you enter the wrong one, then that's part of the price you pay essentially. But we're going back to green flag.
Green flag.
Larry throwing the flag now. Tony Stolar with a hesitant restart. It looks like it allows the 24 of newcomer Stephen Lou Allen to give a great chance here, but just tries to undercut Tony and tries to do a little too much. Maybe he can get some grip here on the bottom of 3. We will see. Tony Solari running right up against that little fluff line there for maximum grip, and he gets a great launch off of 4. Tony Solari holds on temporarily.
And we saw Richie Coy diving on the inside too to try and take over that pass from Chuck Sweeting. Made his way up to the top 3, Jeremy, so he's got to run and get in the back of Tony Solari there, Stephen Lou Allen. But we saw him on the last restart, Jeremy, kind of do the same thing. Tony slid up in front of Stephen, so Stephen timed it perfectly this time, came down, just couldn't hold it. But he's trying. He's there, so we'll see what happens now when he's right behind Tony, Jeremy, see if he can keep with them.
Yeah, that 24 is just bad fast right now. It looks like 1 and 2. He's got it down pretty good. He's trying to shift lanes around in 3 and 4, and it's just not doing it for him. This time he gets a good launch off center, but it looks like Tony's just able to have a nice, solid launch off the exit of that corner. Allows him to maintain his distance. But this 24 is just overall a little better here. Just like we saw last night with the 14, Chase Briscoe kind of held 1 and 2 pretty good, and 3 and 4 was being a little tricky. But this time, Kenny, as it gets to the start-finish line for lap number 52, looks like he's gaining a little bit more ground now.
Yeah, and like we mentioned earlier, they're running 2 different lines, 2 different slides, and they're right there right next to each other. I mean, they're touching bumpers pretty much essentially. And as we see on the high side here, Stephen Wu Allen's trying to make a lead on Tony Solari. Oh, we saw tasted McMullen here, 3 wide for a second. So that looks like it might have slowed up Tony Solari, and Stephen Wu Allen took advantage of it, and that's going to put him in the lead.
Yeah, huge checkup side by side. It is tough to go 3 wide here, and looks like Case McMullen had little to nowhere to go, and it affected the 11 a lot worse than the 24, and that's going to bring Mr. Stephen Wu Allen to the point first lead change of the night.
And that's going to also put Wayne Allen back in 5th place as well. So he's making his way up in the field as we see Chuck Sweeting, like I mentioned just a minute ago, he's back and forth with Richie Coy sitting there in 3rd. So he's going to try and run down Tony Solari if he can. Tony's going to try and catch Steven, but Steven's trying to pull on him, Jeremy. He's, like you said, mentioning he's a little bit faster right now. So we'll see what happens once they get going again. Tony can run him back down.
Since we're on board with Chuck Sweeting, this man started 15th. And look at him fighting for the top 3 here with Richie Coy right on his nose. Pretty impressive stuff. This is very typical of these days to seeing Chuck battling up here in the front. Past few weeks, he's had some woes in qualifying and set him in the back. But when it comes to race time, this guy knows how to perform.
Yeah, he sneaks in there. He didn't run a qualifying lap, so he started 15th and slowly made his way up here. And no surprise, in top 5 now. So, Richie and Chuck we've seen have multiple battles throughout the season. Those guys are now trying to run down Tony and the newcomer Steven. And Steven's putting on a show. I mean, we know what these guys here at Full Throttle Sim Racing. Great league, always clean, great racing. So he's got to live up to the expectation, and he's going above and beyond that. So great run so far. We're on lap 59 right now, 58 of 125. So we're almost to halfway. And newcomer leading the way. Caution's out, though.
Caution is out.
Caution is out. It looks like it's a multiple car pileup here. Might be the 4, the 7, possibly the 37. We'll have to get a replay for you. But initially, it looks like might have been Wayne Grassy getting a little loose off of 4, causing some chaos there just before the start-finish line.
Yeah, we're going down on the track and inside there. And as we've seen with NASCAR on iRacing, that anything that's remotely close to the racing surface, they're going to throw that yellow. And yep, that's just a little touch there. And touched the inside wall a little bit. But yeah, definitely in the a little bit more coming in there. Was that Brian Bliss there?
Yeah, it's that number 18 Toyota Camry.
Only one.
The only one. I'm surprised he didn't run the cookie crunch scheme there for good luck, with Kyle Busch taking it home yesterday. But
he should have.
Yeah, it would have been a great idea. We might know a guy.
We might know a guy.
Yeah. So, but yeah, he get a little contact. I think he's good, but yeah, the majority is see slow motion right there of him just clipping the 4 ever so slightly. I'm actually worried about the 4 there of Chad Lang and his damage to that right front. He did slide down to those water barrels. Some decent contact with that front left tire. Hopefully his toe's in place and he's able to continue.
Yeah, you could see where it spun him around pretty good. I mean, spun him around completely to where he was facing the right way. So hopefully he's going to be coming down, seeing how the repair is on that one, and hopefully it doesn't mess him up too bad. We saw him fighting for the lead, or not for the lead, but for the top 5, and been in the top 10 most of the race. So that'd be unfortunate to have something like that happen off the barriers there. But that's right now we see him in 11th, 1 lap down. So if he can kind of hold strong there, maybe get the lucky dog and get back on the lead lap. Because right now, Jeremy, we got 10 cars on the lead lap. Basically have Stephen Wu Allen, Tony Solari, and Richie Coy leading the way.
Yeah, looks like James Wallace would have been your Martin Sports # get a grip lucky dog driver, and it sure was. Number 67, the second driver to receive one of those rewards tonight. So go ahead and get yourself a lap and rejoin the lead pack as top 10, as you just said. Have stakes at the potential of getting to the lead. Everybody else is 1 lap down or more. Right now it looks like 18 are currently running on 17 currently active running on the track at this time. Got about a lap and a half before we go back to green.
What do you think is going to happen here? We see Tony Solari starting on the outside for the first time tonight. Do you think he's going to be having a better restart being up on that high side than on the low side?
Bird Lane is on the top. I know that's where the grip is, and he's found some good options as far as exiting the corner. It's just, will the 24 put that slide on, kind of like how he did, and block the upper lane? That's the only real question. And to get that done, I think he's going to have he needs a drink in that center console, Ken. I think it's going to be Nerd Focus. I feel like if you keep one of those things on or in your car, and it keeps you hyper focused no matter what you're doing, including trying to beat this newcomer Steven on the restart. You're going to go to nerdfocus.com, Super Nerd at checkout, 10% off. Go ahead and try their flavors. They have 2 right now, 1 sugar, 1 not sugar. Both awesome flavors, easy to drink. No crash at the end. So once again, nerdfocus.com. And we're going to go back to green flag action here. Let's see what Stephen Llewellyn has in store for his first restart led by him this evening on lap number 64. Green flag is out. Chuck with a pretty good start. Looks like Richie Coy had a good start as well, so it's going to be a nice little tight pack for inside the top 4, really. Let's see if Tony gets that good launch off the corner. Cannot make it happen. Just ran a little bit lower than where that fluffy dirt is. But he's going to slide it deep into 3 and try to get a great launch off of number 4. Just pushes too much on the top, and it's going to allow 24 to take off, Ken.
Yeah, I'm interested to see what Tony can do once he gets right up to the back of Stephen Llewellyn, because as we've been watching Tony, he likes to slide it in there and has a good slide through the whole corner and kind of uses 2 different grooves there. As you see him start about middle and slide up a little bit to the fluff there. It's a little bit different when Steven's in front of you. So he's been out front all night kind of doing this thing. So I'm interested to see what he does and see if he can run him down. And everyone's kind of fanned out too as well. Everyone's kind of single file, but Chuck Sweeting's trying to pass Richie Coy for that 3rd spot.
Yeah, he's definitely won that top 3. He is hungry. He is getting there, and they're doing it on the bottom too, which is kind of surprised me. I know a lot of the trucks, at least in the fixed and open races that we did, and even watching these guys on this past Wednesday, the high line seemed to be the place to go for most of the drivers. But right now, there's quite a bit of people surprisingly running that mid to low line.
Yeah, and we're halfway through this thing, so it's just like that. We mentioned that on Wednesday. Ooh, Lane Allen there got a little loose coming off of the corner and slowed down, but he's back up into the groove. But that's going to allow Kenny Schultz to kind of get right up to the back bumper with Brian Hedrick right behind him. But we mentioned with this race, Jeremy, it's a quick race. These laps go by quick, so there's not much time, and we get another green flag run like we did a 40 or 50 laps. It's going to be coming down to the wire, so you never know what's going to happen, and they don't have much time.
No, you are correct. And since these guys have kind of figured out for the most part what they're going to do, we're going to try to take a quick commercial break to give visual thanks to all of our sponsors out there. So stay tuned. We're going to go side by side to still bring you all the action on the track. We'll be back with you in a short couple minutes.
Are you ready to chase the moonlight? Community-based and talent-driven, Moonlight Speed Concepts has what you need to take your iRacing experience to the next level. Founded by passionate owners that care about the community and housing some of the top setup builders and drivers on the platform, Moonlight Speed Concepts offers custom paints, driver coaching, and setups for dirt, asphalt short track racing, and eNASCAR competition. Partnered with top brands in both real world and simulation. Follow us on Facebook or visit moonlightspeed.com and find out why these businesses chase the moonlight and why you should too. Moonlight Speed Concept, where all we chase is moonlight.
Welcome back to full screen action for the Full Throttle Sim Racing Cup Series cars. These guys are still a green flag, and we had a couple of incidences happen since we were on that commercial break. We saw the 4 of Chad Lang make some heavy contact on the exit of turn number 4, involving him and the 18 of Brian Bliss. Chad Lang has since been down pit road, probably a knocked out toe minimally, or most likely a meatball flag to get that damage repaired, because that was heavy contact. The 18, Brian Bliss, still able to keep going, Ken.
Yeah, and that was the same side that he slid into the barriers with, so if it wasn't knocked out before, he definitely has a good shot at doing it that time. So not good if you're on the right side of that number 4 of Chad Lane. And kind of looking ahead, Jeremy, Tony Soares is trying to make up this ground on Stephen Wu Allen. We came back, he was just under a second behind him, and he's made up almost half a second on him now here as you see him sliding it in there. And we see what Tony can do on the long run. And with Steven trying to get through this lap traffic, it's definitely brought Tony back up to him. So we're going to see a battle here. We might even see a lead changes. Steven's definitely slowed up right there as he's trying to go around number 1 of Kevin Rupert.
Kevin Rupert just holding them up big time right there, entering turn number 3, and that's going to bring Tony Solari right to the rear bumper. And once again, they actually make contact this time, and it allows Tony to take a nice little easy pass, but actually caution just came out. We'll see where the scoring loop puts these guys as they get put behind the pace car. But caution on the track for the 4th time this evening, happening for you guys on lap number 84. I am not actually seeing where that caution originally was. Maybe the 57. I'm not too sure. What did you see on your end?
Yeah, I'm looking back through it myself. I couldn't really see. I was watching that battle there, and the 24 trying to clear the 1 of Kevin Rupert there, and it's a good thing that caution came out, because they, like you said, they touched a little bit, and Tony would have been right around them. There's those barriers that got the 4 of Chad Lang and just destroy the front of that 57 of Josh Johnson. So he's having a little trouble trying to get back on. Tough break. Kind of put him on pit road there as well.
Yeah, he's got a lot of damage. That's the worst place you want to hit your car onto any solid object, that being the nose. Though the bumper gives a little more space between the grill and the radiator, so you have a little bit of a safety window there, but still, that kind of impact, there's some damage done to that engine. And they're doing some extensive work on this thing. He's already 12 laps down. He's probably going to be, 15 or 16 before we get this thing going, hopefully. This kind of put, the last stamp into his night. Close that book up. So just kind of salvage what you can. And that's just what a shame, though.
Yeah, and he's trying that. You can see he was trying to get around Chad Lang, who was on pit road too, and just make up a couple laps. And now he's still just sitting 2 behind him. And the next one that we see that's close is going to be Casey McMullen, who's about 8 laps, but he's still on the track making the laps. So we'll see what Josh Johnson does right now. They're still sitting there in 17th spot. He can't go any worse because you got Matty Watkins, who's been out, and Shane Papala, who's also been out as well.
Hashtag get a grip. Martin Sports Lucky Dog Driver Award goes to Wayne Grassi in that number 7 Chevrolet Pennzoil Camaro. 3rd driver to receive this reward tonight on the 4th caution on lap number 85 now, it looks like. So we got just about, 41 laps as of we sit right now. Probably going to be about 39 when this thing goes back to green flag. We see that 24 have that top spot, but Tony was there. He was making some moves, but then that caution came out at the worst time for him, and he has to give it back up.
Yeah, he was definitely, he was there, and that little mishap there was going to bring him up in there. But that's what these guys do over here, Jeremy. It's, full throttle sim racing, one of the best leagues that I've been around as far as driving, class, everything like that. And they run a handful of series, not just the two that we do. We do the Cup Series on Monday, and we do the trucks on Wednesday. But they also have the Xfinity on Thursday. Tuesday, they run the ARCA Series, which we run ourselves at, just throughout the season. And those are fun. But one of the more interesting ones, Jeremy, is the Saturday Night Series. That one there's so much going on that Saturday night that it's such a blast to see what they can all do with all those different. It's kind of like going to your normal short track on a Saturday night.
Yeah, they have 3 different style of cars, and they cram it all into the same amount of time as it takes to finish up one of these Cup races. So time management is key there, and it brings a lot of action. There's not a lot of waiting and see what the car does. It's just one of those little short sprint races to get your job done as soon as you see the green flag drop. So pretty cool setup they have going on Saturday. Once again, it's FTSR.net. Go over there, click the driver registration, and see what series fits you best. We're going back to green flag. Pace truck is going to be dipping down right now, waiting for Mr. Steven to take his second restart of this evening, see what he can do over Tony Slaughter this time. So Chuck Sweeting leaving a pretty decent gap back there, and does so correctly. He gets a nice launch there. Tony Slaughter's actually going to keep the outside of the number 24. Let's see if he can get on exit. Cannot. Not enough grip on those rear tires. Stephen Llewellyn, race leader.
Yeah, Tony's not giving up, though. We see him. He's right on the rear bumper there of the 24, Stephen Llewellyn. And Richie Coy's right behind him. But this top 5, Chuck Sweeting and then Wayne Allen, who just came back up there to get back into the 5th position. They're trying to truck their way through. We got a couple battles back here, Jeremy. Looks like Kenneth Schultz and I believe that was the 67 of James Wallace, too. They're battling it out back there for top 10.
Yeah, you just saw on Nerd TV, too, on the hood cam with that number 11, just drove it super deep into 1. It almost clipped the back of the 24. He's found a new line. But, yeah, there's a couple of good battles going on early on after this restart. 3rd and 4th place. They're only 2 tenths away from each other right now. Battle for 8th and 9th as well. They're kind of closing in. But, yeah, right now, actually, Tony Slaughter's dropped back a little bit. As you see Stephen Llewellyn get a little loose there. It's going to allow Tony to come right back in. He's got a really aggressive line now, and it makes him really loose there off the exit of turn number 2, as you just saw. But he didn't lose too much time because you see right here, he just slides it in so well, and it sticks.
Yeah, he drives it in there and lets it just slide on up there. But he keeps the momentum going. I mean, yes, he does lose a slight touch off of 2, like we mentioned, but he's still gaining ground. So it just depends on how he comes off. Like that corner right there, he came off a lot better than the last lap around. So look at him, just like if you look at him compared to everyone else, he is throwing it in there a lot earlier and a lot deeper. And then Chuck Sweeting himself, as we see him getting a little close there to the barriers. Those barriers tonight they're knocking people out. So those are punching bags tonight. But Doesn't close there in 4th place. But this battle, that 24 Jeremy, we were talking about that white. You see it getting a little bit more on the dirtier and dirtier every lap. So it's nice to see, even though he's out front.
Yeah, absolutely. It's kind of cool with the dirt stuff. You can slide it in so deep like that, and once he hits that fluffy dirt up there in the middle upper lane, it re-grips up and it gives him a nice little launch off the corner as well. But you have to finesse it. If you slide it in too deep, you can come up and hit the wall. If you try to over-rotate the car, you're going to get loose and spin out. So it's a little more a fine line there of what he's doing. But right now, he's done a pretty decent job of what he's got there. But Richie Coy's on his tail.
Yeah, and I just want to, we were talking about some of the series that they were running over here, Jeremy. I was taking a look on the website there, and I just got done talking to Brody, and it looks like the Saturday, that season is over right now. So currently it's not running because the season ended, but all the other 4 we mentioned are. So still come check them out, and then the Saturday series will be starting back up here probably in a few weeks.
Yeah, so get registered now because that puts you fresh in the point standings if you want to, participate and try to run for something with these guys that you see on Nerd TV every Monday and Wednesday. So please check them out. Once again, FTSR.net. Richie Coy making a pretty good ground there on the bottom. finding grip right now where not many people are doing it, holding that middle to lower line and able to get good solid rotation around the corner, still able to get a decent amount of speed off.
Caution
is out.
Jumps, but caution is out for the 5th time this evening on lap 100. See exactly what happened for you guys. Looks like maybe James Wallace there in the 67 maybe found some water barrels once again. The 3rd time those barrels have found some action.
Oh, yeah, and that's going to be the teammate there of the 57 of Josh Johnson. So that barrel, like we mentioned, it's 2-0, so it's 3-0 tonight. It's just knocking people out of this, and James Wallace is that next victim that ends up taking those barriers right there.
Yeah, those barrels got like a little. They got a count, man. They got a body count, claiming multiple victims tonight. They're just sitting there, But these guys, trying to get everything they can on a really loose surface at this point in time. The whole lower half of the track is just really sheened up. That's just really tightly packed dirt. It almost feels like ice to an extent when you're driving over it. So it gets pretty damn loose. And sometimes on these exit of corners when they're trying to get so much speed out of it, things happen. And speaking of which, happening on the track right now is Wayne Grassy for the 2nd time this evening is going to get his Martin Sports #Get a Grip Lucky Dog Driver Award. So get yourself back on that lead lap once again, man. You're going to be starting 11th place on this next restart.
Yeah, and when this restart goes too, it's going to be under 20 laps, Jeremy. So it's going to be a shootout here, and we'll see what these guys can do. As we saw on that restart there, Stephen Llewellyn got away quick and got away in a hurry, and Richie Coy was coming down to get ready to pass Tony Solari at the run they had. So these, Tony Solari and Richie Coy need to make a run here at Stephen Llewellyn if they want to have something, because these laps are going to be quick.
Yeah, they're gonna be coming at them real quick here, and yeah, probably like 20 laps to go, like you said, to finalize this thing. Let's see if they can get all 20 green flag laps in, or we might see another caution. It's that go time. You can't be waiting anymore. So you might see these guys' intensity just pick up a little bit more than what you've seen so far, and it does, can promote some awesome racing, or it can promote some more cautions. We'll see which way that goes in about 2 laps.
Yeah, and I'm excited for it. I'm ready for it either way. I mean, we've had Tony Solari dominating this race, and then Stephen Llewellyn, once he got by everyone, he was trying to run him back down. Richie Coy's been sitting there waiting patiently and basically running top 3 all night. Chuck Sweeting came out of, starting 15th. Now he's running top 5, and he's been up there the majority since we started talking about 50 laps ago. And Wayne Allen, he started up front, went back to the back with a little mishap there in the first couple laps, made his way back up, and running top 5. So it's going to be a good finish here to the end with the top 5, even top 6. Ryan Hedrick 1 point back in the points, so it's going to be an exciting restart.
Yeah, speaking of points too, Tony Solari, or Richie Coy rather, and Ryan Hedrick are the only 2 people really in contention in the top 5 or 6 so far. So if Wayne Grass is going to try to maintain some points, he's going to need to find some speed real quick and get the job done there. As you know, we've seen Sherwood not show up. Casey McMullen struggling 4 laps down here on dirt. So it's really going to be a 2-car breakaway going into the final 4 races of the season, pending they finish kind of where they're running right now. So we'll see how that plays out in about 21 laps as the pace truck does dip down. Stephen Llewellyn going to take his 3rd restart of this evening. Green flag is out late. Larry throws the flag. Chuck Sweeting with an excellent restart here, and so did Tony Solari. Definitely with an awesome restart. And looks like they're going to be dead heat side by side entering turn number 3. Let's see which driver can prevail. One super slides, one pushes up the track, throws Tony Solari deep into the corner. It's going to make it 3 wide for 2nd. Chuck Sweeting going to get loose and spin out to the inside wall. Caution is out for the 6th time this evening.
And Steven, as soon as he did that, he apologized and came on the radio. But yeah, you can definitely see how close they got and moved up just a little bit. But on that restart too, Jeremy, that was a great jump by Tony, and he was on it. And Steven just didn't have the restart, and Tony took advantage of it and jumped all over him.
And it looked like Steven just couldn't get that car to slide, and he came up and checked the 11. The 11, got his car grouped up, got some good speed off the corner, and
just kind of came together.
Yeah, it kind of came together, fighting for the very top of the track, exit turn number 4, and Chuck Sweeting got pushed down and thrown into the wall.
There was
promoted
actually, looks
iRacing
like,
to the flag.
another caution. Actually, Jeremy, if you look back on that, a few cars, it was the 4 car of Chad Wayne. Looks like the 18 Brian Bliss also got into the wall, came down, hit Casey McMullen there. They all spun around, and then everyone's trying to do a little avoidance there. So 57 was also in it. So there's quite a few cars. That might have been the main caution there, I believe. Steve Loomis too.
You know, it looks more accurate because Chuck Swing never spun out, so I was kind of curious why the flag was so sensitive. But yeah, going back, definitely looks like 5 or 6 cars involved. It started by the number 4 and number 18. We're going to see it right here on Nerd TV. Little door check even early by James Wallace, gets thrown into the wall, and then the 4 just in front of him gets involved with Brian Bliss. And it's going to cause a spin out here with the 71 spinning out. The 4 coming across the track, nailing Steve Loomis in the right rear, spinning him, the number 4, the 18 out. Just a huge clutch there behind the main pack, who also had a wreck. So multiple things going on.
Yeah, big chain
lap.
reaction right there with that group.
It was, I'm glad you caught that because I thought the Chuck Sweeting incident was the caution, but apparently there's a lot more going on behind him. So a lot of cars coming in for repairs to get these things fixed up, and this is going to be one nice little 14, 15 lap shootout. You see right there, the 71 crosses over the nose, and then just action everywhere around Brian Bliss. In front of him, the number 4 stopped. Cars trying to round them. Gets it back going. But yeah, I think Brian Bliss, Kenny, has found every single little door check there afterwards. I think Brian Bliss has found every single wreck almost since the drop of the green flag tonight.
I think so, and he's still cruising along. You know, got a couple lap. We got a lucky dog, lost again, got it back. You know, sitting there on 11th right now. So he's just riding around, still almost trying to get that top 10. He's going to be fighting Wayne and Chris Beck and James Wallace, which, you know, all those have some damage just as much as he does. So it's kind of, at least on my vantage point, I see parts of the hood missing, parts of the hood's there. So that 18 doesn't know what it wants to do. Yeah, kind of see a little bit there on their TV. But that, you know who kind of, yeah, there it is. Look at that. Look at that that work right there. That's a thing of art. But who benefited the most of that, Jeremy? Chuck Sweeting, because he was going to lose a few spots there, losing all that momentum and going down to the inside.
Yeah, you're absolutely correct. It's going to maintain him just outside the top 5, starting in 6th place. Did not see who really was the lucky dog in that one. I think all the lucky dog contenders were involved in that wreck in some sort of way, so I don't think they gave anybody that wave around. So no award being thrown out for the 6th caution this evening. These guys are about a half a lap away from getting lap 112 of 125 underway. It's going to give these guys 14 laps to figure out what exactly is going to go on. Who's going to be the winner? Richie Coy starting in 2nd place. The first time he's been doing this up front since the very first flag this evening. Let's see who can make the most out of this restart. Let's see if Stupid can get a better restart. Green flag is out once again. Richie Coy with an excellent start there. A little sideways, maintains it. Looks like the 24 with an excellent run there on the bottom. Tony Slar getting really deep into turn number 1. Does not stick. They are single file for the lead.
And this is the first time we get to see Richie Coy here kind of really battling for the lead, Jeremy. We're coming to 14 to go. It's the first time he was starting up on the front row. And let's see if he has anything for Stephen Wu Allen, who's basically been dominating the second half of the races. A big slide here from Richie Coy, which 24 gets a little loose there in the corner, Jeremy. And he slows up, but that had to check Richie up as well, and so had the momentum. So 24 still keeps away.
That brings Tony Sly right to the bumper of the 19. That back stretch is getting really bumpy as you see it off turn number 2. These cars are just bouncing, even off the exit of 4 as well. They kind of space back out a little bit after that initial bobble by the 24. We see Richie Coy going really deep into turn number 2, which I haven't seen too many cars do that. Able to get a decent launch off that corner 2. Tony Slar keeping the pressure on though.
Yeah, sometimes you get that run there on the bottom, you can get a good launch off, especially with the guy on the top side's getting a little loose, and you know, you could be trying to avoid those bumps too, so we'll have to keep an eye on see what line he's running. But he's sliding it in there, Jeremy. He's trying to make a run for it. I mean, he doesn't really have much time to catch up. He's only got a few laps, and here on Nerd TV, we're going to show you just how those bumps are.
Yeah, these things are getting pretty wicked here on exit. You see right here the 19. You see boom, boom. I think those the wheels on the back side of that 19 came off the ground entirely. A little bit of a monster truck ramp back there. It's kind of impressive how bumpy these things have gotten on exit.
Yeah, and I think that might be why Richie's kind of running a little bit lower too. He's kind of trying to avoid those and gain up a little bit of ground because, you hit that bump just right, Jeremy. It's going to throw you into the wall. So he might have something down here where we see him kind of move down a little bit, and he's avoiding those bumps. He hasn't been hitting them as much, and he's gaining some ground here on the 24. Stephen Wu Allen.
Pre-cam work by Dustin there to kind of show us, and yeah, absolutely, those rear tires came off the ground. I think multiple times too, going through the little bump stop section. So, if you want to call, but yeah, Richie Coy is 2 car lengths away as these guys are monster trucking through the back stretch. So, of course, if dirt's a whole variable all by itself, and now we've thrown some jumps into the track with
All right, man,
7 laps to go, and actually
Caution
caution is out for the 7th time this evening. Going
Chuck
through
Sweeting.
Chuck Sweeting there in the number 75. We're going to see what happened to him. Looks like maybe a self-spin or some slight contact by somebody. Potentially Lane Allen. We're going to get the replay on the screen for you guys right here. Driving into Sunset turn number 3. Oh, I actually got some heavy wall contact there. And Lane Allen just running his normal line, could not slow it up because of dirt, and a really slow 75. Hits him in the left rear, and it causes the 7th caution this evening.
And luckily they got back, around and got going, so they didn't lose any laps. But that's going to put them back to 10th and 11th. And unfortunately, like I say, just kind of slid on dirt, and he's going to be there. And as we see, Kenny Schultz going over the bumps there in his lane now, and already going into the slide there. Ooh, Kenny Schultz got close on that one. Who was that there? That looked like I'm not sure who that was.
That was the 44, Chris Beck.
Oh, yeah, it was.
And that military chromed out, metal riveted machine there.
He's running at 6 too.
I was surprised that Kenneth actually ran it that high trying to avoid, but at the same time, I see why afterwards here. You see Chris Beck come right there and just door slams the 91. But good thing it was direct side-by-side contact there. It didn't look like it did too much damage.
No, it doesn't look like it got too bad of damage on it, so that's going to be good for him. But this is going to be a good restart, Jeremy. We're going to come down. I want to say we might have a green-white checkered win this thing, or it might even have an iRacing green-white check. But either way, it's going to be somewhere around that, and we're going to see what happens because Richie Coy needs to do something to get around Stephen Wu Allen because we see he's kind of got the car beat right now.
Yeah, it's right now there's 5 to go. They're coming up to 4, and I expect the caution lights to go out. So that should bring it to a 3-lap non-GWC. That's pending the caution lights do turn off as the truck comes across the line this time by. Wait for him to do so. Caution lights remain on. So it looks like this will be the last restart of the night. Yeah, caution lights stayed on. So this will be the last restart of the night. 1 attempt at a green-white checker. Hopefully iRacing doesn't automatically throw it out there. It will technically be a green-white checker. We'll just have to see if iRacing deems it to be so. And you mentioned at the beginning of the race too, that 24 with that dirt on the nose, you thought it was going to be a good call on that paint job. And him with having no grill decals, you just see a solid white nose, and that thing looks pretty dirty.
Yeah, that's what I was looking forward to. You see that grill cover just completely just solid white, like you said. So nothing on the sides or anything. And if he was kind of sitting back there a little bit more, not running up front, I can see Richie Coy's got a little bit more on his, and Tony Solari as well. Could be a little bit dirtier, but again, great showing for this guy. Stephen Wu Allen, first race here, putting on a show, running up front, has a chance to win it.
iRacing did not throw out the GWC, so if they do rack him up within 1 lap, there will be another attempt at the green-white checker, but they are coming up on lap 124. So this is the non-official green-white checker. Let's see if Stephen Lou Allen can get this done here. Waiting for him to watch late Larry throw the flag. Green flag is out. Gets a
great
nice
jump.
solid jump. Yeah, great solid jump there over Richie Coy. That 19 is going to give him sole possession of first place temporarily. Let's see if he can hold on for another lap and a half.
Yeah, and you just see Richie Coy just bouncing across those bumps, and that's going to bring Tony Solari there, their teammates, Richie Coy and Tony Solari side by side, and that's exactly what Stephen Wu Allen wants to see coming across here. It's going to be white flag this time by Jeremy as they're heading into turn 1.
Stephen Wu Allen, the rookie, new to this series, comes over to dirt. Says, hey guys, I want to join. You guys look like you're a blast. Gets in this car. Now he's going to come off of turn number 4 at the Bristol Dirt 125 and takes home the checker flag, 1 for 1 in his season.
And just right behind him, great time for Ryan Hedrick to spin it around. He came off of 4, got a little sideways, went across the start-finish line, and just said, all right, we'll spin it around. So, still a nice finish there in 4th place.
Yeah, you might as well, right? It's a virtual card. Destroy the thing after you're done. Why not? Yeah. Ryan Hedrick went for a ride. Barely kept it inside the top 4 as Kenneth Scholes just kind of keeps the top 5. Excellent job by everybody all around. But that's going to, I think, Ken, take us to the Martin Sports post-race show to end off tonight's Bristol 125 Bristol Dirt edition for these Cup guys. And I think we should go over the final results here, Kenny.
Yeah, I think so. And I'm excited to talk to Steven because he just said he's not really much a dirt guy. I don't think he's raced here before. So can't wait to get that interview underway. But taking your wins, newcomer Stephen Wu Allen, 1st place. Richie Coy with another strong finish. He's going to remain your points leader in 2nd. Tony Soari, 3rd place. Nice to see him back up in the top 3. Can't wait to speak to him as well. Ryan Hedrick going to be in 4th. Kenneth Schultz is going to come up home in 5th. Nice top 5. Chris Beck going to be coming home in 6th. 7th is Wayne Grassi. 8th, Brian Bliss. What a finish with him after he was, like you mentioned, all hitting every single part of that car tonight. 9th, James Wallace. And coming home top 10, Chuck Sweeting.
11th place in that one machine, Kevin Rupert. 12th place is going to be Lane Allen. 13th place will be Brian Dublé. 14th, Steve Loomis. 15th place is going to be Casey McMullen. 16th place, Josh Johnson. Rounding out in 17th is going to be that number 4 of Chad Lang after having multiple issues. 18th place is Maddie Watkins. And the last car to start the race and finishing 19th and number 89, Shane Papala. All right, Kenny, I think we see Tony Solari outside of his car. I think he is ready to be interviewed by us here at Nerd TV. Mr. Tony, do you got a copy?
I do. What's up again, guys?
Hey, it's going to be happening quite often, it sounds like, at this point in time. How's that suit looking? How dirty is that thing in there?
Oh, it's dirty, but, every ounce of dirt is another ounce of fun.
And speaking of fun, I want to ask you, too, congratulations, first off, on that 3rd place finish out there. My curiosity to you is, on the exits of turn 2 and turn 4, late in that run, toward the end of the race, I haven't seen bumps at Bristol before, any type of dirt track like that. Walk us through the huge bumps there on the exits of the corners.
Yeah, it was, car was jumping around, bumping around. I don't believe the actual track hit a full 100% wear. I was doing a lot of practice, for the 100% wear, just in case, if it got really nasty. And it wasn't nearly as bumpy as it could get. But, yeah, that sucker hops around quite a bit and makes it a little bit more of a handle. And, it's kind of hard to get the power down. But I just wasn't. I kept flipping between 4th and 5th gear, trying to find a proper gear. Five was I had 5 set up for a real worn track, but we never got there, so I stayed at 4 for the most part.
Yeah, and then that first part of the run, the first half, the first 50 laps, I would say, of the race, you were checking out of there. I mean, you had at one point almost a 5-second lead and was just dominating through the show. And we know you got second, on Wednesday in the trucks and coming home 3rd. So 2 podiums at Bristol Dirt. You just got a handle for it. And how do you feel like the car kind of fell off a little bit towards the later part, or because you, like I said, you were out there the first 50 laps?
Well, yeah, as the track kind of, we talked about it last week, how it burns in a little bit. Once it gets a little bit of a groove to it, you can get some good speed out of it. It feels real nice and comfortable. Once it gets slick, it's a little unpredictable, and I just I couldn't get the thing. I guess I should have practiced with about 70% wear, to be honest. It set it up a little bit more for that. But yeah, it was a fun race otherwise, and I love running dirt. I don't do it often enough, but I almost wish we had more. And I know a lot of guys don't like it, but it's fun for me. No tire wear. You're sliding a car around. I mean, how much more? You can't really have much more fun, really. Throw a ramp or 2 in here, and it'd be even better.
I mean, we had another 20 or 30 laps, and that ramp was already developing. We actually saw a couple cars. I think Richie Coy was one of them. Had those rear tires completely off the ground for 2 consecutive hops off of turn 2 at one point. So, pretty crazy stuff out there. And yeah, I'm on your page. I love the dirt as well, but I know a lot of people, including like my brother and whatnot, who just hate dirt. Does not think it belongs in any type of stock car. But I honestly think it's quite a fun experience too. So, but once again, congratulations on your podium finish, being in third place. Anybody out there watching Nerd TV you'd love to give a shout out to?
Well, I might have a crowd out in Las Vegas. Family, friends, they're out there probably watching. Hey guys, obviously got to give it to Fury. Richie did a hell of a job himself. Brody was in the booth, just kind of calling us through everything, and this league is great, and we have a lot of fun here. And we got some new guys coming in. And he took the stage tonight, and yeah, it was a good time. Just you guys do a great job too, and yeah, we'll see you guys Wednesday.
Appreciate all those kind words, man. Yeah, we'll definitely be here at 9:00 on Wednesday. But go ahead and celebrate with the team, man. Congratulations once again.
Sounds good. Thanks, guys.
That was your third place finisher, Mr. Tony Solari. And I do believe we have Richie Coy available for his second place interview. Mr. Richie, you got a copy?
What's up, nerds?
Hey,
What's
man.
up?
How we doing? How you feeling, man? That back half of that race was getting pretty wild as far as the jumps are concerned.
Yeah, I was complaining about the whoop-de-doos there. They were front and back stretch. In practice, they were just the front stretch. Yeah, they were pretty hectic.
Congratulations on your second place finish. You weren't really there in the first half after the initial start and everything, and then you found yourself there in the second half. I was kind of curious. Did you build that car around the long run?
I was hoping for it to be good in the long run. Honestly, I didn't do as much practice as I probably should have for this particular race. I know Tony had this one circled, and I feel bad that I got him at the line. But no, I mean, I was just trying to pace myself. These dirt races, it's the last 25 laps, not the first 100 laps that you got to race.
Yeah, absolutely. And speaking of the last 25 laps there, I noticed on that restart we had 20 to go. You started hitting those bumps that we were mentioning. And I mean, the whole two rear tires there came off the ground, and then I noticed after that it looks like you were riding a little bit lower and kind of coming off, avoiding those bumps and gaining some ground. Was that something that I was seeing correctly? Were you trying to get a run underneath those bumps and gain on them? And do you think you would have caught them if they wouldn't have had that caution there with about 7 to go?
Yeah, I was trying to get a little bit different line. I was trying to get out of them bumps to be able to put the power down, because when I was hitting the bumps, I was actually lifting a little bit to try to keep the car from taking off. And I started to diamond the corner a little bit so I can get off low and try to go down the straightaway as low as possible and still make the next corner. Whether I would have beat him or not, it's that what they said in the booth the other night. Catching them is one thing, passing them was going to be another.
Yeah, it's definitely tricky here with a lot of the track surface being really slicked up, so it kind of leaves at the very bottom or the very top. And sometimes you have to go out of your comfort zone, and if your car's too loose, it makes it really tough to pass anybody here on the long run. But congratulations again on your second place finish at the Bristol Dirt 125. Anyone out there at Nerd TV land that's watching, you'll love to get a shout out to?
Hello to all the Tony's people out in Las Vegas. Hopefully they're watching him. He did a great job tonight. Fury Motorsports did an awesome job again tonight. I'm just happy to be able to maintain my points lead out of this dirt race that, I'm know enough on dirt to be kind of dangerous, and, I'll take my second place, my points lead, and we'll roll into the crapshoot of Talladega next week.
Yeah, it's going to be a blast to watch as well. At least from our end, I know you guys are going to be stressing about it to try to rack up what kind of points you can. So, yeah, congratulations once again, and good luck next week into Talladega.
Thanks, guys. You guys did a fantastic job, I'm sure. Can't wait to watch it back tomorrow, and thanks again, guys.
Yeah, appreciate the kind words, man. And that was your second place finisher, Mr. Richie Coy, and I think Steven has found out how Discord works here because he has joined the server, and I think we have a hold of him. Mr. Steven, you got a copy?
Yes, sir.
So I got a question for you, man. First off, congratulations on picking up the W tonight at the Bristol Dirt 125. Question for you. How are you going to come in here on your first race and whoop up on these guys?
I don't know. I thought I was going to just really finish in the back because I didn't race at all here last week. So my first laps turned. We're turning it on and practicing tonight for the race. And just turned out I was all right. But I say still get rid of the Bristol Dirt. Let's go back to the old style.
Yeah, you got the love hate. It's some people love it, some people hate it, and you're the ones that's not a fan of but still dominated at it. So that's pretty good. We noticed in the beginning, had a little bit of traffic to get through, but once you did, you got out front, you were just kind of smooth sailing. So you kind of have that thing a little set up better for that clean air, more than when you had a little bit of traffic to get through.
Like I said, I really didn't know what the set was going to do. I really was just running practice to run hot laps. So I was just there early, just trying to take it slow, just seeing what it kind of does over time. And there, after about 50 laps, I felt comfortable and I felt like I could just go ahead and start making my push towards the front.
Yeah, that you did, and what a performance! Great way to show out your first race. Can't wait to see more of you here in the league and fight for the lead. So congratulations on that first place.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah, and since we got you here too, we love to give the drivers the opportunity to thank all their sponsors. Anybody currently watching out there? Do you have anybody on love to give a quick shout out to?
Just the guys over at Tifosi Racing that set up the cars for us each week. They all put in hard work on it. And then the paint scheme on my cars for my nephew, brain cancer survivor, just recently going through rehab and all that stuff. So the paint's for him, and so is this race.
That's awesome.
Prayers out to him.
Thank you, guys.
Absolutely. Congratulations once again.
Thank you.
And that was Mr. Stephen Lou Allen, the winner of tonight's Bristol Dirt 125. I do believe, though, Ken, it's going to kind of wrap things up for this evening. We got some people that we would love to thank as well before we close out tonight and head off into the sunset for Wednesday night.
Talladega?
Yeah, Talladega coming up on
Eric
Wednesday.
Church. I know you mentioned Luke Bryan tonight, but a little Eric Church maybe.
Yeah, it's actually bring that schedule up too, so you guys can see exactly what's going to go on for the next 4 weeks on the Cup and on the truck side. Either one, they kind of follow the same suit here. You see Talladega coming up next there, and then we have Dover followed up with Darlington, and then they're going to round out the season at Kansas. Kind of a little versatile schedule there with the super speedway, beefy short track, if you want to call it, and then a Darlington unique shape, and then a cookie cutter into things. So pretty awesome last little 4 races left in the schedule, as all the series are now on the same line. So 4 more weeks to get the points championship yours. With that being said, I'd like to give out those shout-outs. First and foremost, Full Throttle Sim Racing. Appreciate you guys for letting us do this for you every Monday and Wednesday. Having a blast doing it. Hopefully we can continue bringing you coverage into the near future. You can check out their 4 current live series, and then their short track series is going to be restarting in a few weeks. You're going to find all their information and registration at FTSR.net. We got the Sim Racing Points, your official truck series sponsor, and Nerditude's partner, fresh off that list. So appreciate you jumping on board your points league management system. So if you want a software to do all your dirty work as far as getting your points updated and everything, use this software, simracingpoints.com. Customize widgets on your websites and just super easy, friendly UI to use. Pretty good pricing, too, for everything they offer. And then Martin Sports, home of the sim gloves of all of sim racing. They make fully customized shirts, T-shirts. They got hoodies, hats, and they also bring it to you with the fastest turnaround in the business. You super nerd at checkout, 25% off at martinsports906.com. Quick thank you to iRacing iFlag as well. It's the official flag partner of Nerditudes. Essentially, it's a little 3D printed box that goes on your desk that brings all the indications that iRacing throws at you, whether it be a spotter call or a caution flag on the racetrack. Check out his product at iRacingIFlag.com. Super Nerd checkout, 15% off. And then the Butt Kicker, home of the Gamer 2 unit at the Nerditudes headquarters. It's a one-of-a-kind D-Box-like experience. They have quite a different products, too, on their lineup. So go to buttkicker.com, check out everything, and once you find what you like, Nerd TV at checkout for 20% off. And then quick shout-out as well to our official energy partner at Nerd Focus. That's nerdfocus.com. You super nerd at checkout for 10% off their 2-drink flavors. And then thank you to our asphalt side at Moonlight Speed Concepts, Nerditude's official partner on all asphalt-related setups. You're going to find them at moonlightspeed.com and also on Twitter and flip that over to the dirt side, and you have the House of Speed. You can find them at houseofspeed.us. All right, Kenny. Until Wednesday, we will see you guys on a much larger track being Talladega to kick off the final 4 races into the season's championship. Who will come out on top at Talladega? We will find out. Until then, you guys stay safe out there and get your nerd on.
Later, nerds.